Here we are again. This is number 2 DVD. We finished off last time doing spigots and recesses, or in my case 2 spigots. This time it's going to be an alternative way of holding the wood in your chuck. One of the ways of doing that is with a screw chuck. And John, by the way, today we have Mr. Lyles, who's behind the camera, and directly behind the camera is Mr. Martin Piggott.
Thank you.
Just so as we'll let you know. Right, the different screw chucks that are available. John's brought a homemade one. It's a crappy little thing, but and he's put some piping round the outside of it, haven't you? Some plastic pipe, so as it doesn't. Your reason behind that is
so that the jaws don't grip into it and send it off centre.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a day he didn't have a lot to do, I think.
All right.
Yeah. He's brought one that's actually made for sea jaws. So obviously these aren't sea jaws, so it literally fits in there, clamps in, and you're away. Dead easy. The next ones he brought 3 of these. If you can see those. Okay. So that one goes in the middle. Well, they all go in the middle. They're just various sizes. That's made for a specific chuck, that one.
That's made for the sea jaw.
Right, then that's made for sea jaws specifically, but they'll fit most really, won't they?
Yes.
These. What else have we got? You can use a faceplate, can't you?
You can.
You can use a faceplate, which we don't use nowadays, though, do we?
No.
No. You can speak up if you want to. Don't be shy. Another method is to make your own. These things cost, what would you say? 25? Somewhere around
easily,
there?
yeah.
£30 odd.
You can make your own screw chuck for about 50p. I've got various ones. I made a nice little one here when I'm doing fruit, and it is just an ordinary wood screw, and I put some matting on it so as when you reverse your apple you don't take off your finish with the wood. So it's a good idea, isn't it? Don't you think? Yeah, you can applaud now. Yeah.
On the fruit ones, don't they normally have like a dish to sort of take the profile of the fruit?
No.
No?
No. Not necessarily.
No, it doesn't. It's not necessary.
Well, I don't anyway.
No.
These are flat. Yeah, these are the screw chucks I make. You can make them any size, as large or as small as you like. This one needn't actually be that thick. They needn't be thick at all. It all depends really on the size of the screw you're going to use. We're going to make one, and we're going to use a 6mm coach screw. That is slightly bigger. This will hold great chunks of wood because you've got your support from your tailstock. So there's absolutely no problem. In fact, I often have a problem getting the wood off the screw chuck. It's that good. So let's make one. So we're going to pretend that you've got a square piece of wood and you've turned it down to a round. Now the round size is entirely up to you, like I said. So if we put that in there, what you have to allow for when you're doing this is the size of your screw, which is that one. So let's do it. We'll do it. Let's do it. When you use when you drill your hole for the screw, what I did originally was I measured the inside of the thread, and I used that size drill. I found it extremely hard to get in. It did screw into the wood, but it was very difficult. So I made the next size up. So this is actually a 6mm, and I'm using a 6mm drill. Now that's slightly easier to go in. The tighter the fit, the better really. But we're going to use super glue as well, or resin, whatever. But a nice fit to start with is a good idea. So what we'll do, just let me check it all again. You can't be over safe. Yeah, that's okay. One thing you could do for me, John, if you would, I've forgotten, could you press us a parting tool off there?
Which one do you want? one. No,
To your right. To your right.
that one.
No, no, further round to your right. Tell you what, just hang on a minute.
Oh, right here. Hiya.
Yeah, oh, that one. Yeah. Sorry, mate.
I didn't see them on there.
Thanks for your help, John. Brilliant. So all I want to do is just face that off. Okay. We want to put a spigot on here now. Let's square that up. Because this is going to go in there. So we're going to decide how long this needs to be. So we're going to do a spigot first. What I should have done is brought up the tailstock, just as an added safety measure. Move that in. Now I know this spigot wants to be about 25 mil or thereabouts, just a little bit more. It's a good idea to make it slightly oversized, but I'll explain why later. So if that wants to be 25 mil to fit in there to be the optimum size, make it a little bit bigger. I'll tell you why. Make sure its shoulders are absolutely square with the wood. Now what we're going to do is turn that round now and then part it off. So what we're going to decide, turning the speed down, is the size of the length of the screw chuck. So the screw is going to go in there like that. You don't need an awful lot sticking out. Probably about that much, although you can have as much as you want, for the simple reason you can make yourself some spacers. So if it's too long, just put a spacer on. Dead easy. Even John could do that, not a problem. So right, if you can imagine the screw is going to...
Tell me why you put a spigot on there and you've already got one there. Why didn't you just put
Because
it on?
I want to show people from the start.
Oh, right.
If you're going to criticise,
Not on camera.
so there it is. That's how it's going to sit. So how big do I want the screw to come out of the chuck? Probably about there, because then I've got room for a spacer if I want it, or two spacers. Let's turn that up. Don't forget, when you're using a parting tool, you just can't do one movement straight in, because it will bind, won't it, John? Yes, Chris, it will. So turn the speed down now, because you don't want it going flying off everywhere. There you go, that should do it. So what we can do now is face that off. I think we can get rid of that.
Was there any reason why you made that spigot smaller than the one on there?
No reason. I just wanted to show from the very start.
I didn't know whether it was anything to do with the jaws gripping.
It's going to be a great day, this, you know, I can see it now. Just ignore him. And then just check that it is nice and straight, which it is. Excellent. So just make sure that it is running true. Which it is, so everything's all right there. Knockout bar, just down at the back there.
Right handle one.
Thank you. So now we put the Jacob's chuck in, and we drill right the way through. Now I always keep a slow speed on this when I'm drilling. Do you do the same, John?
I do.
You do?
At least we have something in common.
Yeah. It's not an awful lot, but... Keep removing the drill because it does get blocked up and it will just cause friction. There you go, we're through. Take that off. Now we put the screw in. What you can do if you want, you can put a little recess there for the head of the screw, but it really isn't necessary. Well, it's nice weather outside today, isn't it?
It's going to rain though. Just to cheer you up. Will the head of that screw interfere with the...
No, because that's 25mm or slightly over, and that's going to go way inside it, so it's not a problem. It's a good point, John. See, it was worth you coming just for that, wasn't it, really?
I'll send you the bill. I've only come for the sausage sandwiches.
Makes two of us.
I think I'll put a pair of gloves on that. Like I said, it is, you do want it to be a good tight fit.
I think this is where you ought to have paused in the camera.
Yeah, good idea. Pause the camera, Mark.
Meanwhile, Go.
Okay, we're back on it again now. At this stage, what I would do is put resin or super glue in there, and then just tighten it up. Martin, while we've been off camera, Martin's been holding this. We didn't graze his knuckles, we were fairly close though. As you can see, that is a tight fit. The glue will help it even more. I have never had a problem with a screw chuck coming apart or the screw loosening or anything like that, even when you've got a big chunk of wood on it. Yeah, look at that.
This is the bit where you're on video, you have to put it.
What's he saying? Cheap spanners. Hallelujah, there it is. Right, let's put it in and see if it's running true. It actually doesn't matter an awful lot. See, John, it's not a problem with the bolt in the back. Ah, thank you. It was a good point though.
It could have been embarrassing.
It could have. Yeah. It actually doesn't matter if this is running true, because if you think about it, you have your piece of wood on there and it's all held securely and your tail stocks up.
The only problem you have if it isn't true is if you take it off, it won't always go back in.
Well, you shouldn't need to put it back on the screw chuck because you're going to put a spigot on the end, aren't you? Actually,
It is true.
it's true.
Very good.
However, should it not be running true, let me show you a way around that. This should be interesting if it works. Yeah. If you've got a Jacob's chuck, which is there, thanks Martin.
You said the size of that drill in comparison with that bolt was
Was the same,
same.
6
mil bolt,
and you
6
saw
mil
how
drill.
tough that was.
That was really tight to go in.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Right. Okay.
But I think it's only a few minutes. I know it's a bit inconvenient, but I think it's worth it. So what we can do now is, remember I said to you leave the spigot slightly oversized? If we put that in there,
This was that other use of a Jacob's chuck in the tail, in the headstock, wasn't it?
it
Where
certainly
we
was.
said one
Yeah.
of the things that we
Well thought of. Now the thing is,
don't come out.
if we turn that on now, that's going to come out, isn't it? So you need to put the tailstock back on, just to give it some support. And also what you need to do, that is going to rub on the bolt, so it's going to make a mess of the tip. So it's probably a good idea just to put a little bit of paper, a little bit of card, a little bit of wood, anything so as you don't damage that. There. Doesn't need to be tight, it's just to hold it in position. So this is saying if you're not happy when you put the bolt through that it is not running just right for you. Even that way it's running right.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, all you would need to do is just modify the spigot till it's running absolutely true, which it is, and really that is all there is to it. It's dead easy. It's probably cost you 45-50p. And you can make various sizes for doing various jobs, should you want to. But really I use that one, that one, for everything. So, but it's good fun to make them. And it's a day out at B&Q to go and buy a bolt, screw rather. So there you are. So what I would do now is I would use spacers on there if I want to, or I can take that further down, but that runs true, it's dead easy.